Oh man, I see you're playing that awesome Switch Lite. You know,
Yeah, dude.
I have a regular Switch. It's pretty cool. It's like that, but the controllers come off. Man, there's just I really wish that maybe it had like a I don't know a 1080p screen like on the device. Maybe 4K when you connect it to the dot. You know, they keep talking about that Switch Pro that's going to come out. I'm really super excited about it, man.
So who actually talked about that? Consumers or actually Nintendo?
All consumers, all
Okay,
consumers.
yeah. So it's consumers the ones who really let themselves down.
Exactly.
Okay.
Kind of like we did with WandaVision, where we all
Yeah.
expected too much. You know.
I agree. But so my daughter has a regular Switch,
Hmm.
which I bought for her. I found it a little too bulky for what I wanted. So when it came time that I was gonna buy something for myself, I did get a Switch Lite just because I wanted a Game Boy.
Right.
And then the thing is, whenever I played my daughter's Switch, I never hooked it up to the dock.
Mm.
It was always handheld. It was never a thing. If we were going to play something together, we just use hers. Not a
Yeah.
big deal.
Ma-
So,
Manny's in witness protection, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. That's why he covers his face now.
yeah, no, nobody can see me. You can just see the hat, basically.
um. Yeah. No. I mean, look. The Switch is a niche thing, and it has its special purpose. But before we get into what we're kind of poking fun at a bit, let's go ahead and let our intro go. Welcome to the show. Today's episode is proudly sponsored by Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. More on them in a bit. Anyways, so we're doing things a little differently today, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday we had a lot of issues with Zoom. And today we're using Discord. So you might see like our Discord names pop up or weird lights and stuff as I try to navigate newer ways to bring you guys the awesome podcast that is the Daily COG. I am your host, Kyle Malone, joined by your other host, Manny. What's up, bud?
Yeah. Happy Loki Wednesday.
Yes, but let's stick with our Nintendo bit before we talk a little bit about the god of, you know what, I'm just going to keep saying mischief because we don't do spoilers on the Daily COG on Wednesdays for that. But Nintendo announced yesterday the Nintendo OLED, the Nintendo Switch OLED model. It is essentially the same Switch internally. There's been an additional LAN jack. I think they said gigabit speed up to on the dock station itself. A wide kickstand that covers the majority of the body of the Switch itself, and then an upgraded OLED screen that has smaller bezels that gives you 7 inches instead of 6.2 or 3. I mean, it's still only 720. This little thing's got better resolution. You know, no updated graphics. No nothing really that should convince someone that already has a Switch to buy this unless they have a weak Wi-Fi system, in which case I would suggest you instead spend the $300
Money
on
Wow.
updating your internet your internet setup at home instead of buying a Switch, because literally if the biggest thing for you is getting a hardline connection for better speeds, I'm fairly certain that you could probably upgrade your Wi-Fi, install some mesh or an additional access point with that money instead. Manny, what did you think of Nintendo's announcement?
It felt like an iPhone announcement, and it really just tickled tickled me fancy because even when they were doing the reveal on it, whatever, and they're like, it's a bigger screen, and it just goes, "Nyeh," and then because it just went that much wider,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, yeah, it now has a 720p OLED screen, and I was like, oh, okay, I mean, okay, and then um and I find out later that yeah, it technically has a better screen, but they didn't update any of the CPU.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't nothing. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
And then the only thing that went ooh was it's like, yeah, you can now connect it directly to your modem with with the wire, and I was like, oh, okay, well that's actually nice. Now it has a Microsoft Surface kickstand on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I thought to myself, well, if you didn't have a Switch, nice. If you already have a Switch, you just kind of shrug and keep playing,
There's
your game.
cases that you can buy that have a better kickstand. Like you could put on a better kickstand for 10, 15 bucks basically.
Yeah, yeah. The whole thing is a gigantic letdown. I guess the only good part of this is, there'll be more Switches out on the market because they're in such high demand.
Yeah.
Um, that's it. There's nothing special about it. Good job, Nintendo, at dropping the ball.
Yeah, I know, right? Uh Jesus. I don't know. I really don't even know how to deal with what they brought up. I really don't. And I just realized this thing is on mirror, so my Ramones shirt is backwards. That's awesome. And
Well, to me, it's actually not backwards.
to you,
Interestingly enough.
but the way that my screen is recording, and like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I've never used Discord to record video, so thank you for joining the Daily Cup of Genre, where
Jesus, only us are
we're
gonna see this video.
we're super professional. Can't you tell?
Only
Look,
us are gonna see this damn video. God damn it.
what's that?
Well, I guess I get to talk. I guess this is your excuse to talk to me in the morning.
Oh.
Nobody else is gonna get to see this damn video.
God, I hope so. Because we're gonna keep recording. I keep checking it. It's going. It says it's recording, and I can
No trust in the system.
I can still see your audio coming
Good.
in, so we're good. I hope.
I hope. You get a message at like 10:30. Hey, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Nintendo, look, like we said, this is a great entry system. If you haven't had a Switch, like if my son didn't already have his Switch, I would buy this. Like if this was my first Switch or a replacement. But this is obviously not for people that already have Switches. Unless you're looking to add, you got a kid that's aging up or a parent that is tired of sharing with the kid. Sure, this could be your additional Switch instead of the Lite. Like, to me, this almost eliminates the need for the Lite just simply because of the better mobile screen. Like, there's no upgrade to the dock graphics. It's still 1080p. But the OLED screen will have better response time, will have better color, and it's bigger. So if you're looking for a mobile device, and I didn't get to dig into specifics on batteries, but LEDs and the current Switch models are LED backlit. But LEDs are incredibly energy efficient. I'm not quite certain what the battery drain from OLEDs are versus just an OLED panel backlight. I'd have to check on that. But to me, yeah, this is just they don't even need to give it a new name. This is just like a regular update that you do, like when you make something slim. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's. I mean, on the one hand, I guess if you look at it like that, like this is the Nintendo Switch version of the PS2 Slim or the PS3 Slim, where you might have gotten a few little hardware tweaks, but nothing dramatic. And I'm okay with it, except for the fact that fans really got themselves worked up. And God, I know a lot of like viable sources that swore up and down they had seen and had been given spec sheets and leaks for, 4K dock, 1080p screen. Like, I almost wonder if Nintendo sent out false shit on purpose, which is dumb, but like, it was that bad, dude. Like, legitimate, like, you're talking like Verge and IGN, Kotaku, big names on Twitter and YouTube, fucking Linus Media Group, Linus Tech Tips, even they covered what they felt were reliable sources saying that this next Switch was going to do X, Y, Z. And one of the key things was either native 1080p on both, the handheld and the dock, or 1080p handheld and 4K dock. No one expected the only hardware changes to be a LAN port and a screen change. Like, wow.
Yeah, it's very disappointing, and who knows? The fact of the matter is, they still may be working on that.
That's true.
It could be coming. And the thing is, I don't see it not happening because of the fact that I know that coming up in the next month, especially in the next year or so, we're gonna go back to esports. Mm-hmm. And arenas and things like that, and you are going to need the 1080p. You really start wondering sometimes, because I know there's people out there who's probably like, well, what's the big deal? Like, the graphics are fine anyway. I was like, yeah, they're fine, but if you're a professional gamer that I would call, and you're competing and you're going to be using that new Smash Brothers game, et cetera, you're gonna want the best resolution possible, mm-hmm. compared to some of the other games maybe you play on other consoles. So I think it's important to create a system that is going to be more comfortable and more adept to professional gamers. And that's where the Pro would come in.
Yeah, I can see that. I had to explain to my son. He plays Lego Worlds, and he spawns a lot of stuff on the screen. He builds massive buildings and does a lot of lighting effects and things like that. And the Switch will crash. And I'm like, Lucas, you're putting too much on it. It can't handle that. Like, it can't handle a game that is playable on it if you put too much on it. And I'm like, you'll get more power if you plug it into the dock. And all of that goes to kind of what you just said when you talk about like esports and things like that. Yeah, Smash, generally they use Melee and they're using old analog control, GameCube controllers anyways, but you got a lot of smaller esports. Hell, there's high schools that have started esports teams, and
Dude,
which is good.
High schools
awesome
in this area are even building esports arenas.
That's great.
In their schools, which
is
great. Which is fabulous.
Go ahead.
And I just think it's beautiful because I know that there's some people out there who might think that they're just playing video games. No, it's not just video games. It's a really, really great way to get, especially some people that are very, very timid, mm-hmm. to be able to start chipping away at that and start working with a team and do something together, problem solve. And figure out a way to compete and win, and thus being able to kind of get out of your shell a little bit. Mm-hmm. And so these are good things. So better systems for these schools, for just in general, I think would do well. And not to say that you just can't use these, but a little goes a long way sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. One of the things that I really wonder about is what you just said a few minutes ago about we don't know if they're not working on something. Look how quick the turnaround was for the Wii to the Wii U, and how everyone kind of thought the Wii U was like an add-on to the Wii. You know, they had a branding issue. What if we do get a brand new, from the ground up? What if all those leaks are real, but they're for the sequel Switch, the Switch 2, the Super Switch, the Switch 64, whatever you want to call it? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if those leaked specs were really the next generation, and that this is, like we said, it's like the slim model. Yeah, it's not really smaller. The bezel's smaller. You get a better screen. But it's not. Everyone kind of looks at. We've only had one mid-generation upgrade. That's the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. That's it. The PS3s and the 360s got smaller. The Xbox and the PS2 got smaller. The PlayStation 1 got smaller. None of those had a big power upgrade. It's not until this previous generation. So, to me, while it was disappointing because of how much what we thought
was behind it. Yeah.
what we thought was reliable hype. Like, that's the kicker. Like, this wasn't just like people wishing and hoping. There was a lot of people that were putting their names on record for what they thought this thing would cover, and it just didn't happen. So what if it is the next system?
So here's also what I think probably could have happened. Both of the models were in the works, as of whenever they for years now, because these things don't happen night and day. But what if early last year, pandemic hit, which is
fly off the shelves
everywhere. Yep. They are working on the Pro, and then maybe this other version of the Switch was going to come out as kind of a complementary version of it, or maybe it was even supposed to replace just the regular Switch.
Right.
Hey, from now on, these are going to be the Switches. What happens if Nintendo decided, all right, because of the fact that we're not doing esports probably for the next year, and who knows for how long, we're going to have to switch. We're going to switch it up because the demand right now is just for Switches.
Yeah.
So because of the unknown, and we don't know how soon we're going to get back into arenas and get back into kind of pro style gaming, which yes, you can do from home, but it's not the same. Let's roll this one out because it doesn't require any different technology as far as the hardware, and let's get these out as fast as possible.
Yeah.
And then coincidentally now we're reopening and everything's going great so far. But hey, they made the choice to try and supply the world with more Switches, and this is one way to do it. I think that could have also been an issue where they made the choice to flip it and to release this instead, just because they need to fill that demand of basically the same console, but they're working on too many other things at once.
I can see that. And the other thing that kind of came into mind for me was the general chip shortage, and that they might have had this nice stack of fabricated silicon for them to use in their, like you said, replacement Switch, but maybe the order for the upgraded chip hasn't been able to be processed enough to release. There's a lot. It does, like I said, I even think the title, I'm already thinking of what the title of today's show will be, which I think might be why the Switch deal isn't necessarily that much of a bummer. It is a bummer because of what we thought we would get. But I don't think it's that we're not going to get it either. I think there is either a brand new console, Switch 2, Super Switch. I would love to see Nintendo go back to some retro nomenclature like the Super Switch. That would be cool. Like, I would dig that. Nintendo's Super Switch, and it's 4K dock, 1080p OLED handheld screen with a gigabit either. Like, you know, make it as powerful as a PS4. You could do that now. We got gaming phones that are as powerful as PS3s at least, you know, if not more, depending on the game and how you utilize the resources. But yeah, I think Nintendo maybe should have tempered expectations a few months ago when we were coming up on E3. They were having some of their Nintendo Directs. Like, I think maybe they should have addressed some of these expectations and tempered them a bit.
They did by announcing this new one. It's not their fault that people decide to report on what they do. It's like damn, people are really gonna be let down when we announce this in a couple weeks. That sucks.
Yeah,
like,
well, then they're not gonna buy it.
Like, we will. Oh, dude, these are gonna fly off the shelf.
Well, yeah, but they're gonna fly off the shelf as not a replacement. This is a great, like I said, it is great to say, hey, here's a brand new Switch. If you haven't gotten one yet, this is the one for you.
It's gonna fly off the shelf.
Yeah.
They're gonna make the same amount of money as if
I don't know if you had a reason to upgrade, you would get the new people that were waiting on that, you know, updated version already, plus the people that like you said are more serious Nintendo gamers and would like to play Lego Worlds on the handheld without running into
the serious Nintendo gamers
issues.
are gonna buy this anyway because they're completists and they're gonna want to have it, and that's fine.
The Apple crowd.
Yeah, basically. Me and my house, we got our Switches. We're happy with what we got. I don't need anything extra, so we're not. Well, I'm not gonna buy it. So,
nope.
Until there's an actual reason where my Switch is obsolete, I'm not gonna buy another one.
Yeah.
Just it is. I mean, but that's how consoles work sometimes, and get to them. So yeah, I think the whole point we're making is that based on reporting, credible sources or not, both, it's just it just kind of fell flat.
It did. It was kind of a boring announcement, but you know what's not boring is these awesome ad reads from our sponsor over at Grow Generation, and I think I used Cam yesterday. Maybe today we'll hear from Christine, but whoever it is, please talk.
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. Grow Generation is your one-stop shop for hydroponic grow supplies, product systems, and more. Grow Generation serves customers across the nation and carries a wide inventory of renowned cultivation brands. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, whoever I randomly selected in the editing process to do our wonderful ad read. I think I went with Christine. Anyways, speaking of tempering expectations, Sony's version of the Play at Home or Nintendo Direct, the State of Play. They got a new one coming up, and Sony's blog. Let me bring it up real quick. They came out and said that we're going to get to spend a lot of time with the game Deathloop, including a 9-minute look at it during this 30 minutes of, and this is from their site itself. 30 minutes of indie and third-party updates, including a reality warping tour of Black Reef Island, which is the setting for Deathloop. I'm super excited for Deathloop. Like, I cannot get enough of that game. The trailer looks phenomenal. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. But here's one thing: everyone's been wondering what else would be covered. God of War sequel, Ragnarok. More Horizon Forbidden West, hardware stuff, PlayStation VR. They literally at the bottom say we're not covering God of War. We're not covering Horizon. But stay tuned throughout the summer.
Good for them to put that on there, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because it kind of like we were just talking with Nintendo, it tempers expectations. Hey, we're not doing this today. Chill.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you're gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, they're gonna do it," and then it's like, "No, we ain't doing it, man." Because most of those things you could do with its own show.
Yes, and absolutely. I mean, that's what they did with the last State of Play was almost entirely dedicated to Horizon Forbidden West, which I cannot wait to get my hands on. Mump's face and all. She's
Leave her alone.
hanging, dude. She's like, I don't want to move my camera, but she's right there.
Don't move your camera.
I'm not. It'll break. Yeah, I like that. Like, I get the idea of wanting to do surprises and things, but we live in an age where people can barely take their sports team losing. Like, you think people used to get upset back in the day? We see reports of violence over the most ridiculous things, and part of that is, I think, the double-edged blade of the internet and instant gratification, instant knowledge, instant everything, just about, man.
Hell, bro, even Amazon sometimes the same day delivery.
Exactly.
It's and now when you think about kind of the original, like the original 5 to 10 days to get something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, it's a week? Are you kidding me? Oh my God, life is so hard. So, oh yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
You've showed me that like 12 times already.
Oh, I'm showing the audience that hasn't subscribed yet, and please hit that red button and do it. Anyways, keep going.
Yeah. So, people need to relax and let things happen. Don't. Why are we so so keen on instant gratification? You have, if you gotta wait for something, there's a billion other things that you could do while you wait,
Mm-hmm.
that are instantaneous, thanks to your TV, thanks to your phone, thanks to your game systems, hell, thanks to services provided in your town, probably.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, there's some times where patience is needed and necessary.
Absolutely. I like the idea of companies doing what Sony just did with that. Like, I really appreciate that because of two things. One, it does allow it does prevent those that were gonna be upset from causing a ruckus. Okay. Two, it also allows us in reporting to decide whether or not this particular state of play is going to be in our wheelhouse. They talk about indie games and third party. If you're a certain blogs, that might be exactly what you want. But if it was God of War and Ragnarok and you're an indie thing, you don't want to watch that one. So I kind of appreciate it for that. But I also appreciate it for fans that are maybe not interested in Deathloop, or that are interested in Deathloop and not interested in God of War. They know what to spend their precious time on. Because let's face it, yeah, these are all going up on the internet. They're live, but you can watch it, later on tonight. But we all still want to kind of feel like part of something, finding something out together, even if there's screens between us, right? I mean,
yep.
How many trailers have you and I told each other, hey, this trailer came out, don't watch it, save it for the show? Because there's just that interaction, and even though it's different, you and I on a video broadcast or podcast or whatever, watching and reacting, when you're in a live YouTube room, you're still seeing everyone else. Oh my God, did you see that? That was so cool. And being able to plan your time and be like, I can't wait to see God of War Ragnarok. What's this Deathloop shit? I like that. So I fucking hate these words. Good jobs, Sony. Fuckers.
Why, dude? Just give them their credit when it's due. Like,
I did.
Geez.
I did, and it hurt.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God. Kyle. Let them be, man. They've done a lot of great things. So don't use your PS 4 or 5 anymore if you're so upset with them.
No, I'm a capitalist pig. I get to utilize what I like from something and demand changes to the part that I don't like.
Jesus Christ, man.
Oh man.
Look, man, I sent you a teaser trailer of
What did we
something
get?
that I'm very excited for in the Discord chat.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I
It's
can.
one of my favorite properties from the 80s.
Oh yes,
Dude,
RoboCop Rogue City video game.
I still remember, man, me and my dad at a Korean restaurant in Berkeley when I was little. Keep in mind, RoboCop had already came out in 1987. I was born in 1988. The movie was already a couple years old. It was on TV. It was on one of those little TVs, like little 14-inch screens on the on kind of the counter of the restaurant, and we happened to be sitting there and being blown away by the idea of a half or of a mostly
A cyborg
robot
cop,
part
yeah.
man RoboCop, and the way his gun came out, and even the and just the way he was just such a badass, and it was like he gave you a warning, but he'll shoot you.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, take down those thugs. And ever since then, man, I have been 100% a fan of RoboCop. Kind of, I mean, not the remake. Yeah, let's not talk about it.
Okay, we won't
You
talk
know,
about it.
Because Jesus Christ.
But it had Sam
it was,
Jackson, and come on.
and it had Michael Keaton, and it had Joel Kinnaman, and it had Angie Garcia. I mean, it had like
I know.
It should have been good.
Almost like the Total Recall should have been good, because I was actually like, Colin Farrell? Okay. No.
Yeah.
Bad. Anyways, go. RoboCop.
So yeah, and I love the original films, man. And it's just such a fun story. And the fact that it's from the 80s and it was rated R and it had some of those really crazy moments, like when the dude got hit with acid and he was all melting, dude. I'll buy that for $1. That creepy ass dude. And the
Love
whole
that meme.
thing, man. Yeah, the whole thing, man, is just so much fun. And so now, I kind of like, okay, we just talked about being patient, but this is not set out to come out till 2023. And I'm
like you
oh
announce it 2 years out. Like, holy shit. I can't share it because I don't know how on here, but you get the build up of the city. I forget the city's name, but
Detroit?
Is it Detroit? I couldn't remember if it was Detroit or Chicago. I knew it was up in the Midwest, North and Midwest, but they talk about the crime wave and stuff like that, and they use some really cool graphics to bring the city, into existence, if you will. And then at the end, it's just, RoboCop's stepping out in that classic thigh opening for his gun holster, and I'm thinking Arkham Knight, but RoboCop. Is that what you've got in mind? Is that what you want to see?
I think so. I think that makes the most sense. Just because if you kind of look at what they're announcing, it is going to be based on. First of all, I like the fact that it's not something new. Mm-hmm. It is going to be based on the original films, and kind of the speculation that it's going to be a shooter style. They're teaming up with MGM to continue that with an original story. And I kind of hope that they are going to so you're going to travel different parts of the cities and kind of, I guess, clear out out whatever the criminals are, and then from there you run into some of the different machines that you fight. Hell, even I hope they bring back the Robo Ninja. That was kind of fun. So the only thing, man, is I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's the people who are developing this are also the people who did um, Terminator Resistance, and that was not very good.
I never played it.
Exactly. You never even heard of it.
The last Terminator game I played was in an arcade.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one. My daughter and I played the last time we went to Chuck E. Cheese.
Dude,
And,
do you remember?
that,
Go ahead. Sorry.
so we were doing so well on it that
Mm-hmm.
we played for about. I don't even know how long we were playing for it, but they were getting ready to close, and we were still going at it,
Nice.
and the fuckers unplugged it.
That's terrible.
Because they once it's time to close, they shut down all the video games at the same, with one switch, and they
Damn.
shut us off. I was pissed, dude.
Yeah, I
because
would be too.
it's like, hey, do you understand like how I don't think you understand how the accomplishment here, man. We were doing so well, and you decided to intervene and
Ruin
put our
it.
I don't know. Yeah,
Just
just
ruin
our
it.
glory.
Do you remember the Aerosmith game? Revolution X. It was one of those shooters with the plastic guns at the arcade, and you shot CDs, and Aerosmith music played, and like they were.
That sounds
I think
terrible.
they were captured by terrorists or something.
Jeez, that sounds.
Look it up. It's one of the rail shooters from the arcade days. Revolution X is what I think it was called. And if you look up Aerosmith arcade game, you'll find it. I can't believe you never saw it. It was everywhere.
I'm glad I didn't see it.
I think my favorite of the rail shooters, gotta be Area 51, man. It was just
dude,
everywhere. Loved it.
My favorite. I don't know if that counts as a rail shooter or not. It's Time Crisis 2.
Yeah.
That, dude, so much fun. Just. I don't know how many times I've beat that already at the arcade, and even now, sometimes when we go back and they still have it, and if it still works,
Yeah.
we go at it again.
Those poor light guns. Did you ever play on like Silent Scope, the sniper one, where you actually had to look at the?
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
You can see there.
Nice. Very cool. Very cool.
My daughter, yeah, that's the last time we went to Chuck E. Cheese. Damn, my daughter's years older than that now.
Damn. Yeah, we took Lucas to Dave and Buster's not too long ago, and he had a lot of fun. It is kind of sad that those machines, they bring me so much joy, so much fun. The Star Wars Battle Pod is like a dream come true. I would win the lottery. I'm buying a Star Wars Battle Pod. Like, that's happening. And then I'll buy the repair parts and get it nice and fixed up and working good order, unlike most of the ones that are out in the world. There was what's up?
Uh-huh. That's what I was going to say. I'm buying a medieval, there's a medieval pinball machine that I'm buying. There's a Dark Knight pinball machine I'm buying. And an original Centipede.
Nice.
With the ball.
One other machine, and you probably don't know it. It was very niche. But being a mecha fan and an anime fan, there was a game called Virtual On, and it was 2 seats, each with 2 joysticks, and you picked a mech, and you fought each other. And they did release a console version, but nothing beat the feeling of controlling a mech with your. It was like the closest thing you could get to Mech Warrior before that ridiculous Mech Warrior thing for the Xbox came out. You remember that? All the controls, it was like $300 or $400, and it was for some mech game on one of the Xboxes. I think it was the first one, and it might even be a Mech Warrior game. I can't remember, but it was this ridiculous setup with controls, but the arcade game was. It ate up so much money. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, no.
It ate up so much of my my poor little weeb money. Anyways, man, an entire episode pretty much on gaming. I love it. And you know what? I don't think we ever hyped. We did definitely report that Nintendo was expected to release a Nintendo Switch that we figured would have the same things that everyone else was talking about. So if that article is there and one of us can track it down, I'm sure someone will update it. If not, hey, this is us saying that's wrong. You got a OLED screen and a maybe gigabit Ethernet port on the back. Maybe. Anyways, hopefully all of our wonderful social media information is down below. I'm at that Kyle Malone on Twitter. At that Kyle Malone on Twitter. He's at LRM_Manuel on Twitter. We have an amazing website for you guys, lrmonline.com. All of the entertainment news, needs, and opinions, reliable, truthful, no clickbait, promise. Okay, sometimes some new guy might put up a clickbaity title, but we try to snip that on the bud. But anyways, Manny, we got the website. Please check that out. In addition to that, our podcast network, the Genreverse podcast networks, shows like Animeversal, the Battle World podcast, which covers war movies, Breaking Geek Radio, Star Wars on the Cantina, Marvel Multiverse Mondays, Loki Thursdays. Look for that tomorrow. All sorts of great stuff like that. And all of that gets put over on our YouTube channel as well as with this show doing video format and a couple others. We also have 1,000+, I think it's 1,000+ now, interviews with creators, celebrities, writers, directors. It's crazy. Manny, talk about it.
Yeah, we talk to people and they talk to us.
Exactly.
No, man, it's a wide wide variety of topics too. There's something for everyone. You like cooking shows? We got MasterChef. We got Uncharted. You like Legos? We got Lego Masters. You like horror movies? We got horror movies. You like indie movies? We absolutely have a ton of indie filmmakers, actors. You like Disney, Pixar? We got it. We got Luca. We got the latest. We got pretty much everybody from the latest movies and everything in between. We got it. We have a good team that has a good relationships with just an array of publicists from all across the entertainment spectrum, and we do our best to bring it all to you. And the crazy thing is that we enjoy it. We like doing this, so it makes for way better conversations, not interviews. And you're not going to get a lot of times those same static questions that you get everywhere else. Not to hate on everyone else, but our style is the best style, which is why we have so many LRM exclusives on our site. Yep,
we get a couple of editors in a room, and sure, we have to ask a couple questions about the current project, but we're going to start digging into editing with them and experiences that they've had on different projects, and that brings in really, really unique experiences where one U.S. service member meets a former Israeli service member and have a really unique interaction. Only happens here at LRM Online on our YouTube channel at the Genreverse Podcast Network. It's all under the same wonderful umbrella, guys. We really do appreciate you listening. Please like, share, subscribe. That's the best way to help us help you. Keeps the bills getting paid and keeps us giving you guys content for free. Because honestly, I don't like having to pay to. I don't know. It's weird. Anyways,
that's cheap.
Yeah. One last thing before we roll credits. Did you like this week's episode of Loki?
I'm halfway through it.
You're halfway through it. Okay. I liked it, but I haven't not liked any. Check Nick and I talking in depth about it tomorrow. Manny will give his take on it as well tomorrow, and we should be live tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Yeah. So look, 9:35 on the YouTube channel. Please subscribe and help us reach some good milestones as quickly as possible so we can get all this wonderful stuff out to more people. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.